I see the syllabus, I saw that there are three P's of the learning system. There are the first thing is Eureka piece, and then the second incubation piece, and the last one is innovator piece. So would you mind to explain more about this, the piece, so the parents will know about what their kids learning step by step?
Okay, sure. So let's start off with these three phases. Actually, this whole curriculum was designed by myself. So actually, I've thought of like how do I want to to make it to how do I create the program so that it makes it quite easily understand by a lot of the parents or the children, like why are they here for, and what are the three things that they actually need to take away by the end of the holiday camp. So we start off with the Eureka phase, right? So Eureka phase, in other words, like in the word Eureka means that you have discovered something, right? You discovered something in your in this phase. So what I'm looking at is letting the kids or letting the participants for this camp itself to actually get enlightened and actually discover that they themselves have an engineering or robotics background that they have in them, just that they because of their current studies or their current day-to-day life, they actually didn't manage to actually use it. So this phase itself for the Eureka phase is for them to explore and to say that, oh, I to explore the inner engineer or the inner robotics the inventor that they have in them, to actually deliver it out during the workshop, right? So
So Eureka
after
page basically it will be only in the first day, right?
correct. So it's for them to actually
Mm.
explore this phase itself. Then with the help of Robokit, because it's so versatile and all the parts inside is so it's so multi-directional. It helps the kids to actually start learning how to be more creative. So that's where they will notice that after doing the first day, they were like, oh, actually I can do this. I think this is quite fun. So that's where they will move into the incubation phase. So what we mean by incubation means that, like for example, you're incubating a egg so that it will hatch into something. So that's where it will hatch to the next phase. So when I use the word incubation, it means that I'm trying to develop the inner engineer about them. So if you see the incubation phase, we will be doing more on things that actually we are teaching them skill sets, or actually teaching them how to utilize the RoboKit itself to actually develop that innovator of that in them. So we are teaching them, equipping them with all the correct techniques, teaching them how to utilize the set itself, and how do they actually critical think when there's some little challenges that they face, or troubleshooting the product itself. Then from there they will know that, oh, this is something that actually after one day of 1.5, most probably this one is around 1.5 day. So they will be actually learning like, oh, I'm getting the hang of it. Then on the last day they will be like, oh yeah, this is something that I already know from the beginning. Yeah, this is what I will be doing. Then they will like, oh, I saw this question, I saw this issue, I know how to solve it. Let's move on. Let's find something else to add on so that it makes it look a bit more creative. So that's how they actually started to become an innovator, right? So when they started to develop their innovator side of their brain itself, so that's where they move into the innovator phase. So for the innovator phase, it's more on a teaching them how to come up with solutions with the existing product that they have. So for example, like an engineer and myself, we have a solution, or we have a problem that we face day to day on a day-to-day basis. For example, we go on to, like for me, my case, I go on to a marine vessel, then maybe this engine is not working, but the engine is running fine, but the electrical work might have some issue because they can't detect the RPM of the engine, or maybe they cannot produce enough power for the engine, but they don't know what's the reason. So as an engineer, we will have to go and look at the problem, and we need to come up with a solution. And after that, we have to solve the problem. So that's where the innovator will kick in. Yeah. So that is where they actually will come in with the innovator phase. Correct.
That's Interesting. And I also see in the model that in the incubation phase, they also will work in a team, right? So, what will they do actually in a teamwork? Because they came like individually at the first day, right? And then after that, at the incubation phase, they have to do something in a teamwork. So, could you please explain more about that?
Okay, so for the incubation phase, for the team challenges is that we actually created is to create a bond between the campers. So when they come in for the workshop, we want them to work together because technically when you're working outside, is we will always have to work with a team of people, and we have to make use of not make use, actually is to work together to in order for them to actually know what are their strengths and their weaknesses. So for example, I have a participant that actually is very good with his hands-on work, and he's not very good in his programming skills. But whereas I got the another camper or another participant that has very good programming skills, but he's just not very good in his hands-on work. So from this engagement between the two parties, they will actually learn from each other, learning the skill set they are very weak in, and improve on helping them uh, to teach someone else their own skill set, so they can deliver their own skill set to someone else, so that both of them will be in a win-win situation. Yeah, so from there, hopefully, just not just only learning what they learn from the workshop itself, but also learning how to mingle with friends, how to create friendships, or create a very nice memory when they are with us in Singapore. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And that's what a student also want in their holiday station, right? Because they already learn so many things during the semester, and then in the holiday program, they also need to know each other, right? For the teams and but also in a good way, right? So, for example, learning robotics in here, and the last piece, I saw that they need to show to present their invention, I think, right? So they need to give the showcase. So could you please explore or explain more, like is that the showcase will be the invention from that team or the individual inventions
Oh,
that will be a showcase at the last day?
okay, so on the last day itself, they will be sharing the, because the program is 3 days, so it will be a bit tough for them to to actually invent something and to come up with something individually, right? Because they have to come up with the idea, how to ideate and how to program and how to make to test run or test run their prototype. So it will be and the time that we give them is a bit shorter because we want them to think fast. We want them to critical think in a way to say that, oh, during this period of time, I need to come up with this solution. I need to program this function to come out, and I need to make sure that the robot works at the end of the day. So we want them to actually touch on each other's strength. Like for example, I have a team that is very good in we have one of each. Like for example, we know that after 3 days of the workshop, I know that uh, participant A is very good at building. So for the speed building process, we will let participant A to come up with it, and the other two can help out in preparing the robot itself. Whereas then when we reach the programming phase, maybe participant B is better, so he will be doing the programming. Then the other two will actually assist, like saying, for example, like, oh, we want to if we want to, like, maybe the other two can be the brains, while the participant B is the bro when he will start typing everything or start creating the program. Yeah, and the third one will be the operation. So operation is more on troubleshooting. So troubleshooting itself more likely is like when they
Yeah.
run the project, run, oh, it doesn't work. So they have to take it back, sit down and consider what's happening, what went wrong. Then they have to fine tune it. Yeah.
Yeah. They have to be do the trial and error, right, for the operation system. So it will enhance their critical thinking skill.